everyone. Welcome to the Stella Woman magazine, the Stella Woman Show, the show that brings you thriving women's stories, knowledge, and experiences so that you too can learn one or two things, be inspired, make a change in your life. And we're here to move light from one woman to another so that the whole world can become a better and a brighter world. And this is a special edition, Mother's Day edition. And we're really thrilled and thrilled to have an amazing young woman, Viktoria Höller. Viktoria, welcome to the Stella Woman magazine and the
Hello.
Stella Woman Show.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm
Amazing.
excited.
Fantastic. So I am Stella Olivia Kikoyo. For those who don't know me, I'm the editor-in-chief of the Stella Woman magazine and your host for the show. So Victoria is based in Austria. So it is really amazing to have such a young woman onto this show who has made a decision to nominate her mother. Mother is a stellar mother. She's a journalist in making. She's a voice of justice, a daughter of a woman who refused silence. She has grown up between countries, languages, shifting realities. After her parents' divorce, she moved in with her mother to Lower Australia, where she has been able to grow her childhood as part of Cyprus and gaining early international perspective and fluency in English. She has trained in classical vocals, piano from the age of 8 and later evolved to musicals and as well as into punk and rock. Today, she studies political science, journalism at the University of Vienna. Grounded in feminism, justice for working class, she is committed to investigative storytelling that amplifies marginalized voices. She works as well to support herself in university. She's disciplined, politically aware, and yet deeply humorous. Victoria believes that laughter is a form of resilience. So, this Mother's Day, as I said already, she nominates the woman who shaped her voice. So, Victoria, welcome to the show. And please let us know, who is Victoria Höller? Did we say everything that she is about, or is there anything more that you want to add to that?
Yeah, hi. I think you got about everything just right. There's not much I can tell you about me than that, but yeah, I was always a very political child and woman, and that just shaped who I am today. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And right now you're in your apartment, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So, Victoria, before we talk about your mother, we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. What matters most to you right now in life?
Well, of course, my studies, that takes a lot of time. And besides that, social movements, particularly when it comes to intersectional feminism and class struggles, it was always the big thing for me.
Oh, fantastic. So, I know that you're studying political science and journalism at the University of Vienna. What inspired you to pursue this path?
I was always very interested in politics and fighting for equality. And when I was about 14 years old, I learned first about queer history and rights. And was my first time coming in touch with politics and realizing that even the private areas of life can be and are political. And then I started being interested in investigative journalism, and I realized it plays a very important role in a democracy. So, yeah, I started being interested in this classic watchdog kind of journalism. And in school, I regularly attended protests and I always debated my teachers and classmates. Yeah, so after school, I did a gap year
Yeah.
when I was working as a waitress, and I didn't really know what to do after school. And then I realized, well, I always cared about politics and I wanted to understand it deeper. So I came to the conclusion, yeah, political journalism would probably the right path for me.
Very inspiration. So, where your work and studies focus strongly on justice and feminism, where do you think that awareness first began for you?
For sure, at home, when I first realized that the boys my age were treated very differently to me, and there was like always made excuses for their behavior. But when I did the same thing, it was deemed unacceptable by all the adults. And then, of course, I realized that the men were always treated as more capable, and the women had to do the dishes while the men just sat after a family meal and yelled at them to bring them a beer or something. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, guys. It's such an experience for many women that yeah, so that
Yeah,
made you really go into this work.
exactly. Yes.
Yes, wanting to equality, and this being International Women's Month, it actually lines together with the topic we are talking about right now. Amazing. So, when you heard about Mother's Day feature, what made you want to nominate your mother?
My mom was always a big inspiration to me, and she made me realize that the life the patriarchal structures dictate for us may not be the only way you can live your life, and you can take risks and go about the normal stuff. Yeah.
Fantastic. Such a big inspiration for a 21-year-old to decide to say, you know what, whatever mom has put in me is worth talking about. And thank you for nominating your mom and standing behind what she has put in you. That's really amazing. Amazing. For us, even as Stella Woman, to have a picture of such a young, empowered woman. So, what does your mother represent in your life beyond simply being mom?
For me, she is a pioneer of some sorts, maybe even a revolutionary for our family at least. She was the first to leave a toxic marriage when it was unimaginable for all the other women in our family. She was the first to speak up about the clear favoring of men in our family and the solidarity between all the men that came before everything else.
Oh, wow, such a strong woman, such a really a force for good, being the first, the pioneer, and you witnessing the strength of this woman. This is amazing. And making a decision to stand behind her and do exactly what she has put in you and even still nominate her. That is amazing. Really great. So, if you had to describe her influence on your life in one sentence, what would that be?
She taught me that women can do and survive hard things.
Oh, women can do and survive hard things.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing can stop any woman.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Very good. Amazing. So the month behind the mother behind this movement. So we want to talk about your mother, Elisabeth Gabauer. So tell us more here. When the world sees your mom as a speaker, a best-selling author, a founder of Archimede Weberg, is that what I pronounce? How do you see her at home? You can correct that.
Yeah.
How
Alchemie der
can
Weiblichkeit. It's
Okay,
not, yeah, it's hard.
that's
Um,
very good. Yeah.
at home, I always saw a loving mother who really wanted to be a mother and who would do everything for me and my sister. But she's also never satisfied with herself and very critical.
She's never satisfied. She's always critical.
Yeah.
She wants to go and level up, level up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but there's so much to be proud of her, isn't it?
Mhm. For
Very,
sure, yes.
very good. So, what is something about your mother that the public would never guess?
Probably that she's a really funny person as well. And
Ah,
even though sometimes it like takes her a while to get my jokes, but between the beauty and the brain, she's also very fun to be around. And sometimes I take her out with my friends and they love when I bring her along.
oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah, that's amazing. Even your friends, the 20-year-olds,
Yeah,
have her
exactly.
company. That is so good. Oh,
They always ask if I can bring her with me.
oh, Elizabeth is amazing. Such a stellar woman. Wow, wow, wow. That's really amazing. So, what is your earliest memory of her strength?
Well, I wasn't sure about if it's the earliest, but the first thing that comes to my mind is when she had to arrange her own mother's funeral. And between me, who was also devastated to lose my grandma, who I was very close, and her brother and father that couldn't like think clearly. And of course, her own grief, she had no choice, but she stepped up and she did that without a question, arranged it for everyone and made it so that she could have a good funeral and everyone else could just grieve, and she did that, no question asked. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is really strong. It's strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you witnessed it all, and at the point of you also being at low level when you've just lost your grandma. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so growing up, did you feel you had a different kind of mother compared to your friends? And if so, in what way?
Yeah, absolutely. She wasn't like this typical, I think the term right now would be tread wife.
It would be
That
what?
the tread wife,
Red
that's
flag. Okay.
yeah. Um she wasn't that. And I think sometimes as a kid I wished I would have like this normal life, this normal mother. But because I also always felt like I couldn't fit in, and that didn't help at the time, but I realized now that, of course, it was much more meaningful that she showed me that you can be independent and you can still be a working woman who does her what she loves, And yeah, she also didn't like have the resources to just be a stay-at-home mom, but she didn't have to show me that she can be a good mom to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you felt that she was strong at that point, and it wasn't really so cool to have her in your opinion. But now as you reflect, you realize that it was good that
Yeah,
she was the mother that she had to be at that point. That's
absolutely.
amazing. What an achievement for Elizabeth.
Mhm.
Oh, what as mothers. What's achieve that? That's a legacy created, really. That's
Yeah, yeah.
achieved. So what does she do that makes you feel most loved?
It's hard to pick just one thing, I think, but one recent example would be that she washed my clothes when before Christmas, I think, my washing machine just stopped working. And without a question, she drove to my apartment, picked up my clothes, did the laundry, washed and folded them, and just brought them to me till I could afford a new washing machine. So I felt very loved then, yeah.
So special. That is really special. It made me even become my eyes are watering. Wow. And I'm really, it's just so much of an honor to listen to all of this and now becoming for any mother who wants to be a mother, they have to just listen to some of these words and just realize what it takes to really touch a young woman's heart. And as I
Yeah.
it's so beautiful, so beautiful. So now when we look at you growing up in a matriarch home, your mother speaks openly about patriarchy structures, yeah, and raising her daughters differently. What did that look like in everyday life for you?
My clearest memory for this would probably be when she held seminars for women, and she always made sure there was someone to look after all the children so every mother could attend. And she made sure that no one was without a village, as you say. And she was always she made sure that there was someone there to support other women.
Yeah.
And I never heard from my mom something was for boys, something was for girls. It was always, you can do anything you set your mind to.
All right. That is so beautiful. So it was always also the fact that she had structured when she was running seminars, she had the structures in place to support all women to be able to attend. Yeah, fantastic. And the
Yeah.
fact that everything was for all of you, regardless of whether you're a female or male. That's amazing. And that takes a lot of consciousness, especially when you've grown up in the reverse, where you've been told you can't do, you can't be everything. Because personally, as well as a mother, I catch myself with the thought of wanting to tell my daughter, "Oh, you're a girl," this. Then I tell myself, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I was told that, but I can't do that to the next generation. It's so good
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
for you, you know that your mother never even dared say anything like that.
Never, yeah.
That takes a lot of level of consciousness, really.
Yeah, for sure.
So, did you grow up feeling empowered as a young woman? And can you share a moment when you realized that?
Yeah, when I started high school in the nearest city, um, a lot of my friends stayed back in their small hometown to just work in a shop and are now married very young, have kids and stuff. And I realized it was never even a question for me to not dream big and want more from life than those traditional roles. And I really wanted to learn stuff, get an education, and work a job I actually enjoyed and not just like tolerate it. And my mom never made me question if I could do that. She kind of actually expected me to do something greater with my life than just make money to survive, you know?
Oh my, amazing. That's a good
Yeah.
one. That's really a good one, especially if you reflect on your friends and see
Yeah.
that their lives have stand out differently from you, and the fact that you are empowered, that you always do something that you loved, and also the expectations that you will do something bigger.
Yeah.
Ah, this mother of yours. It's good to have those expectations because they make us really rise to them. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Right to them. That's very good. So, and in that question we had to, what conversations did she have with you that shaped how you see yourself today?
Well, probably all the conversations she had with me after my grandma took her own life. And she explained very well how her own mother couldn't keep on living and endure the pain, and why it's important to never let your life be dictated by the decisions of men or just man made things and expectations. And it really made me understand my family dynamics better, and was, of course, a very formative time in my life. So I think it was probably then when I realized I couldn't keep on continuing those patterns I found in my family. And I want to take the chances the women before me never had and fought, so that I can now study and do what I care about.
Oh, amazing. That's really powerful. What? That must have been such a difficult conversation to handle. How old were you then? Do you remember?
I think I was around 14.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's quite a difficult conversation at
It,
age 14.
but she did that really well, I have to say. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Wow, wow, wow. And so you have even a generation beyond your mom that you experienced. Did you have part of the experience, or were you just told by mom and you didn't see what grandma was facing?
Well, I was kind of shielded by my mother from that,
Yeah.
but I got that there was something wrong and that she was never the happy grandma you would like see in movies or something.
Mm.
Um, but I think I really understood when she took her own life what was really going on, and made me realize a lot of things. And my mom also never made it a taboo topic. She always, I could always ask her questions and she would answer them truthfully. And that really, really helped me at that time.
Oh, wow. So that really makes a big difference, her ability to answer those questions
So,
truthfully. As we try to shed certain things from our kids, sometimes not answering the questions truthfully also doesn't help.
yeah, exactly. I think it helped me way more to just talk about it openly.
Very good. Thank you for letting us know more about that. Thank you. And as a 21-year-old woman in university now, what parts of her philosophy have stayed with you the most?
Probably her fuck them philosophy.
Which one?
um, Her fuck them philosophy. So she always taught me not to care about what others think, you know. In fact, she taught me to kind of pity those who have nothing more interesting in their lives but the way we live ours, you know. And they always talked about us. People in our town always talked about us because we moved frequently and she did stuff differently. And we weren't the like typical Austrian family, but she never cared about it. And I don't either now. So that is probably that stuck with me, you know?
Is that? That is so empowering because most of us spend time trying to conform to what people will think, what people will say, and what a waste of time and space we do. So it's so good for such a young age getting this message and seeing this role model that teaches you really to do what you love, what you want, without exactly just being there, being modeling your life around what people expect you to do and
Yeah.
say. So powerful, and that's amazingly empowering. Has there been a time when you disagreed with the worldview as well? Um, so has there been a time when you disagreed with her worldview, and how did she handle that?
Yeah, when I was about 16, I think, I started to get like really into politics and I started to notice some patterns. And I noticed that most of the injustice and inequality were caused by one thing, and that was capitalism. It was the root for most problems we have in our modern society. But I never met anyone who even dared to question this way of existing, and especially in our small town in Austria, I think people never even dared to think that there could be an alternative for the system or the system could be questioned. So when I first brought my new thoughts to my mom, she like wasn't very excited about my newfound socialist tendencies, but she was the only one in my family and around me who really wanted to understand why I thought the way I did, and we discussed it very, very often and deeply. And one day she kind of came around and she started to change and question as well. And now we're like mostly on the same page about stuff like this. And she was willing to change her opinion when she was proven wrong. And that is a trait I think very few people have. And it's also her part in this made me realize that the patriarchy and capitalism are like very closely intertwined as well.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes, they are, aren't they? Oh, that's a great relationship that you have identified there. They are actually quite quite integral aspects of life today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Having a mom who's open-minded as well. Willing
Yeah, for sure.
Well, a child's approach, yes, it's really a good way in which she has been able to raise you and also empower you into how you're growing up as a woman, and yeah, and a great future for you. So your mother experienced deep trauma in her own childhood. How do you see her breaking the generation patterns?
I think like the big thing was she always made sure we got out of toxic environments and we never stayed long where we just couldn't like flourish. And the women that came before her had like a habit of staying in situations that were catastrophic to them until they died. So they were convinced you just had to sit stuff out, even when it didn't serve you. And that was one thing my mom never did.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We always got out, yeah, when it didn't serve us anymore.
That's very good. You get out of any toxic environment as quickly as possible.
Exactly, yeah.
That's very good. And that kind of awareness is what we need because many of us, I think that's the problem. We stay in a toxic environment and
Mhm.
that destroys our own your own health, mental health, emotional health, and many times also physical health in the end. So it's really important that you get out as quickly as possible and never stand for it. That's very good. So, in what ways did she create a different emotional environment for you?
Yeah, she encouraged me to do what I was interested in. When I, for example, want to play piano or like do a musical, she always made sure I could. And she didn't just have a kid because you have kids, you know. She did because she wanted to be a mother, and I felt that. And I know that she never felt like wanted from her parents, but I never questioned that I wasn't wanted. So that is a big difference.
Very good, very good. She always provided for you in terms of what you wanted to do, and you always feel like you are loved. So, and that's really a big statement, to feel that you're loved and wanted to be here. Yes,
Yeah.
fantastic. You always are. You always are. And what have you learned from her about resilience? Because
And
she's
it is
a resilient woman.
yeah, that is probably the biggest thing I have learned from her, that you can go through hard times, you can get out mostly all right on the other side at least. And even when you think there is no way you can continue, there cannot be darkness without the sun, as you say. Yeah, I like that saying. So I think that is what she taught me.
And what's the saying? What's darkness in the sun? What was that?
There cannot be darkness without sun.
Okay, there can't be
Yeah,
a darkness without the sun. I like that. I
yeah,
like that. So always we have to know that the sun will come out anyway.
exactly.
Darkness cannot exist forever. That's very good. That's very good. So how was watching her as a single mother? How has that shaped your view of independence?
To be honest, my parents split up when I was about 3 years old, I think. And so now it always surprises me when people tell me that their parents are still together, because in my mind, that wasn't an option, you know. I just lived with the way we lived. And yeah, what I want to say with that is that I just accepted it and I never missed anything. She stepped up as if she had to be mom and dad, and she was. Of course, yeah, for sure she was. And I never questioned that a woman can do this without a man, you know. And I never even thought as a kid you need a man to get through life, to support yourself. And I think that is ingrained in the brains of most women. For me, it never was.
This is so fulfilling. Just hearing your voice and the words that you're articulating here is really powerful to see that
Thank you.
Elizabeth has enabled a next generation to be empowered and to have a voice that you have today. That's amazing. And an
Thank you.
independence that you are. Okay, so thank you for that. So the alchemy of motherhood. So if you had to describe your mother's motherhood style, yeah, in 3 words, what would they be?
Just let her. Yeah, I think my mom let me try a lot of stuff and just let me roam free. And I could do whatever I wanted mostly. And my friends always had to be home way before me. And so most of the time I was home earlier than we even agreed upon, because the parents of my friends were never as chill as my mom. And I think that made me really independent as well. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the 3 words?
Just let her.
Just let her.
Yeah.
Okay. Just later. So you had this other freedom. Was it completely freedom, but you had to actually structure the freedom you have been given? You are given the
Yeah,
freedom.
kind of.
You could easily just go back, show up back at home, even if you had
Y-
the freedom to stay longer.
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah, I could always come back home.
That's very good. She speaks about the harmful assigned role of motherhood. From your experience, how did she redefine that role?
Yeah, she lets people know that she isn't just a mother. She's an interesting woman with a very interesting life story and a lot to show off. And her kids are for sure part of that, but her whole life doesn't have to revolve around some mother role because she is her own very interesting person.
I love that. I love that you want your mom to actually be herself beyond just being a mother. I could feel you wanting her to actually have it. That's so
Yeah,
good because as mothers, we feel guilty. We think we have to be in the mother role all the time, but yet we have other interests that are beyond just being a mother. And I feel like she has done it already, but you're even letting her within your voice. Mom has to be the mom that she needs to be. An interesting mom.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Very good. That's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, what a legacy. I'll keep saying that. What do you think society misunderstands most about mothers like your mom?
I think that people think that they are mothers who care less or are like too career driven. But you don't have to lose yourself completely to be considered a good mother, and you don't have to sacrifice your whole life either. Just show your kids that a strong woman can be both a mother and a cool woman.
Oh my God, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to say that again, Victoria.
Yeah.
Please do.
That they are mothers who care less or are too career driven, but you don't have to lose yourself completely to be considered a good mother, and you don't have to sacrifice your whole life either. Show your kids that a strong woman can be both a mother and a cool woman.
Wow. That is a takeaway for all of us. That is going to be a key takeaway from all of this. That's a cool mother. You can be beyond a mother. Wow, I love that. I love that very much. Thank you. Thank you. So, if we have to ask, what is the one thing she did that you will definitely carry into your own future motherhood if you are, and one thing you might do differently?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about bringing kids into this political and social climate yet, but I would definitely try to be as open with my children as her, because it really helped me to see that you could cry, be devastated, and even suicide isn't a taboo topic. And we should really talk about difficult stuff and not just assume that kids cannot handle this. And talking openly about it and being able to ask questions was very important for my own grief, as I said earlier. And what I would do differently, maybe to just let her approach could be a bit different, because as fun as it was, believe me, because I had all the freedom I wanted, um, sometimes I would have probably needed a bit more guidance as well. And it made me feel sometimes, because I know it wasn't like this, but I thought about if my friends were just like, they had someone who cared more about them because they were had stricter parents or something. And my mom was always like, "Yeah, she will come home," you know. So yeah,
Oh my goodness, she had so much trust in you.
exactly. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so good. Yeah, so being open-minded as well is very important, and also ensuring that you have conversations and difficult aspects, difficult topics, getting yourself in a place where you can handle it with your child. And yet to say, yeah, that takes a lot from a person, a lot of maturity to know that you can handle a difficult conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because these topics like society, you can feel that they're taboo in many people's minds and homes
Mhm.
and communities, and yet they need to be talked about. They need to be addressed. So
Yeah.
good that you had to talk about all of this. So, and thank you for sharing that. Now, as someone studying journalism, how do you view your mom's work in shaping social narratives?
Yeah, of course, very important and should have been talked about a long time ago. And it's, as I said, important to talk about taboo things. And the more awareness you raise for a topic, the more people will think about it and act accordingly. And also in the media, there's way more awareness about patriarchal structures now. And I think it's important through which lens you look at the things you write about, because looking at something with, for example, a feminist or intersectional approach can make a completely different story.
Powerful. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. And if you were to write the headline of your mother's life story, what would it be?
Between moving places and breaking cycles.
I love that. Moving places and breaking cycles.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A journalist indeed. What do you think the world most needs to understand about women like your mom?
That independent women aren't a threat. I think that most men are very scared of what could happen if women get the same rights and opportunities as them. And because, yes, we are very capable, but that will not take away from something, can only add to. And I think that would make a great impact on all oppressed groups, not only on women.
Yes, yes. Fantastic. Not only on women, whatever women's agenda is for the benefit of all and it will benefit others. So
Yeah.
independent women are not here to take away anything. They're just adding to that. Powerful. Oh my goodness. That's why
Thank
you're
you.
doing political science.
Thank you.
Everything so powerful. So, if you could say one thing directly to your mother on this Mother's Day, what would it be?
Thank you for teaching me how to believe in myself and being not only a cool mom, but an even cooler woman.
Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Victoria, for
Thank
all
you.
this, for feeding us, feeling us. I feel fulfilled just listening to your voice, that powerful voice that we need in the world. Thank you so much to Elizabeth as well for enabling you to become the woman that you are. It's amazing to see your light and to also tap into your mother's light and be able to spread it. Really honored and to listen to you. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for nominating your mom and coming here to share your story with us. So yeah, it is me, Stella Olivia Kikoyo, and Victoria, all the way from Austria. Is there one thing you want to wrap up, Victoria? I know we shall have another bit, but is there something you want to augment with this interview before we move on to your mom?
That the world needs more strong women.
The world
Yeah.
needs more strong women. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Victoria.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. At just 21, you give such an amazing interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Now we move on to the mother who has made it all possible for the amazing Viktoria Höller. So welcome, Elisabeth Gabauer, to the Stella Woman Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you are many things. We have just heard so much about you, and I don't know how much you listened into, how much you tapped into. Such
Not really, because I was too far away to hear it clearly.
Oh, God. Oh, you missed listening to it, but I hope you get a chance to listen to it or read about it as well. So, Elisabeth Gabauer is an international speaker, a best-selling author. She works as a sorry. Oh, I'm recording. I thought I wasn't recording.
Oh,
So, welcome, Elisabeth, to the Stella Woman Show and the Stella Woman magazine.
thank you, Stella.
So I'm going to start again. Elisabeth Gabauer is an international speaker, a best-selling author. She works as a women's coach, a therapist for more than 20 years. She lives and works in Austria, close to Vienna. She has made it her mission to help women to overcome all their limiting beliefs, circumstances, aid them in building their dream life, and to get deeply rooted in themselves. She is the mother and of the amazing Viktoria Höller, whom we've just interviewed, and also a mother of another young daughter. She gave birth to another baby, which is her patent movement of alchemy, the Werkwerk. The movement is a regular gathering of women in sisterhood for personal growth and development to support each other. Furthermore, Elisabeth is the host of her own podcast. Is it Fenderhood?
Power and coach. Uh,
Fenderhood. In
uh,
which women, you're going to correct all of that, in which women have the opportunity to share their stories, empower others with their wisdom. Elisabeth loves being a mother, and she has two daughters, 21 and a 9-year-old, but she doesn't like to be assigned the role of motherhood in this society. Most of the time, she was a single mom, and this was one of the reasons why she has always aimed for a matric way of living in her private life. As a role assigned to a woman or a mother in the patriarch system is a harmful one to mothers as it is to their kids. So her life with a mother who was suffering from depression in the end committed suicide, and her life as a single mother led her to studying patriarch structures and the effects of these on women and girls. Moreover, she educates people on social and political norms and structures that make it possible for women to create healthy lives with their natural aspects of nourishing, empathy, and compassion. And all her research is based on new findings to live a physically and mentally healthy life. So, Elisabeth, there's just so much to talk about you. Of course, we've already learned a lot from your own legacy through Victoria. Welcome to the show once again.
Thank you, Stella.
So
Thank you for
tell
having
us more. Who is Elisabeth Gabauer? Who is this woman? Does that compound everything that you're about, or is there more?
I think it reframes me very good, what you said. I don't want to put more in it because I think you said everything with this intro. Thank you for that.
Yeah, having listened to what Victoria, oh, you haven't yet listened to it, have you?
Not really, no.
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't understand any word. I was in the room next door
Yeah,
and it was hard to understand everything, you know.
to hear what she was talking about.
Yeah.
No, okay. So we have to take it from where it is, given that you didn't listen to some of these amazing things that she talked about. So you have been raising the daughters in a world where you refuse to accept certain aspects. So what does Mother's Day mean to you personally?
I think it's about awareness. This day shines a light on matters, on our love, our work, our problems. And awareness and attention in this case are very important because it's about visibility. All the good things mothers do in this world, but also to draw attention to where being a mom is difficult in our lives and in our society. And it's a very important day to me because I think nothing is more important than motherhood, because the relationship with our mothers is the most important relationship we have, and it shapes our being, our life. Yeah, and I celebrate myself on Mother's Day, and I celebrate all the other mothers and my mother and my grandmothers. Yeah, I think it's a very important day. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. You have these words, and I think that's why we got you. Victoria has them, gets them from you. It's so powerful. Looking at what you're talking about in terms of mothers being a special relationship, and that now encompasses what Victoria was talking about. You could feel
Okay.
that because you have been significant intentionally sowing that relationship, that's why we get the voice that we get from Victoria. That's amazing. Well done. Surely
Beautiful.
a
Yeah.
light, a light. I don't know how much you want to know about some of the things that you have taught her how to be such an independent woman. And really, it's very difficult for her to even know what to take away from what you have given her. She just encompasses everything that you have given to her, and she has loved everything. I think the only thing that she felt she would take away is the total freedom you gave at some point. But she understood why you gave it as well. But that was just a little bit. But
Too
everything,
much freedom. Yeah, I understand.
there's just so much joy to get from to hear from such a young woman what she has been able to, what you have sown, the seed that is coming out. The rest of us are seeing the fruits of that seed.
This is so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. The watering you've done, the light you've put around her is the
Mm.
fruits now that the rest of the world is enjoying of Victoria. So how did your own childhood shape the way you mother?
My mother was a very hardworking mom. She was very nice, but most of the time she didn't seem very happy. You know, she suffered from recurring depression, and I always tried to make her happy. And I learned to be the nice girl to make her life easier. And I realized that a happy mother is the best mother, you know. And that is and has been my goal, to be a happy, joyful, healthy woman. Because to lead a fulfilling life as a woman is the greatest gift you can give to your children, I think. Yeah, so they are free. When you are happy, they don't have to care about you. And this is what I learned about my childhood.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's powerful. That's really powerful. When we are happy mothers, we're going to really have happy children. And that's a happy generation, really. So it
Yeah.
pulls us from motherhood. That's really powerful. And that shows us back from what you've just said, that the most important relationship, this mother. Yeah, that takes us back to that. That makes sense. Thank you for that. Now, you speak about rejecting patriarch motherhood structures. What did you consciously choose to do differently?
Mm, Patriarchal structures favor small families. You know, one woman with one or two or three kids in her house or apartment or a daycare from a very early age on with more or less changing caregivers. But it takes a village to raise a child. So I connected myself to other women, other mothers, to my grandmother, and we supported each other raising our children. And so I tried to build my own village around Victoria and Caroline. And furthermore, I took Victoria and Caroline with me to my seminars, to my lectures, to as often as possible. And I also tried to remain financially independent so that I didn't have to stay in a bad relationship at all costs, and it was very important to me. Yeah.
That's really strong. And really moving them away from the patriarchy kind of structures that define women at the lowest level
Yeah.
at times. Yes, that's really powerful, and demonstrating to them your life in a way. And of course, you've put in something about that is so important, the financial independence really being critical for us women. Yeah,
Yeah.
very powerful. So, what did being a single mother teach you about your strength?
Mm-hmm. I think when you have kids, you have to do a lot of things you don't want to do. For me, for example, it was cooking every day or being on time for school. And so I learned a lot about discipline and to be well organized. And yeah, and to take care of someone and to put someone else first and to love someone unconditionally. And when you're a single mom, you have to take decisions alone. You don't have someone to talk about the small decisions every day. You have to learn to trust your own instincts and your gut feelings to manage daily situations. And I think the mental load is extreme because there's no one there who helps you with the daily stuff. And so you have to manage your brain and your mind and to be very careful, yes, with your brain and your thoughts. And I think it made me very good in making decisions.
Yeah, I'd never thought about that. The fact that you rely on yourself in terms of making decisions, the more you depend on other people, the more you can't stand in your own power to actually make a decision. That
Yeah.
many times, most of the time, we are more knowledgeable about that decision, but we still cannot take it just because you
Yes.
have to refer to someone else, sometimes who's not even knowledgeable about that
Yeah.
particular decision. So being a single mom just puts you in that position to, yes, wow, fantastic. And being disciplined and organized all the time. Oh, beautifully put. Really loving your kids unconditionally. So you talk about the mental load daily because you don't have anyone to refer to. Sometimes this overload. So how did you actually manage that bit? I know you talked about creating the communities that are supportive around Elizabeth and Caroline, is it? I mean, around Victoria and Caroline, is it?
Yeah, Caroline. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sm-
yeah.
Yeah.
So, how else did you put in place structures to support you, especially mentally, as you have all of this load?
Okay, I have female friends
Yeah.
and good friends. That was very important to me all the time.
Yes.
And to, yeah, good, um, a lot of talking about what does it mean to be a mom, what children need, and so on. That helps really much.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was very important to me to have female friends, good friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Good friends.
Yeah.
Good friends. Yeah. The
Yeah.
word good is very important there.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Oh, so that's very good. And so how do you raise daughters to be rooted rather than reactive?
I think you have to be a safe person, an anchor. They don't learn from your words, they learn from your behavior. And it doesn't help them if you tell them to calm down when you yourself are freaking out, you know. But I wasn't always a safe person, especially when Victoria was a little girl. I wasn't rooted in myself, and I often was very unregulated. But I have learned that, and step by step. And I think that something you can show your kids how to get back to your roots and be aligned with yourself and to find your own answers and your own way. I think this is very important.
It is. It is. And it's so authentic, telling us that, yes, in the beginning you want, but you manage to take yourself back, to anchor yourself, to really be rooted and be aligned to the person you want to become and the mother you want to be for them. And hence why we are benefiting from all of that difference that you put together. Fantastic. So, what have your daughters taught you?
First of all, Victoria taught me how to be authentic. She she's a personified lie detector, you know. She knows exactly when I'm lying to myself. And I would say she showed me who I really am in the depths of my soul, you know. And in the relationship with her, I had to face all my shadows, but I also recognized my bright side. And she really taught me to be a better person. She definitely makes me a better human being. Yeah, she does.
Fantastic. And it makes it easier when we become more authentic than
Yeah.
when not, isn't it?
Yes, and sometimes I wasn't. I said something like, "Oh, this is good," but it didn't feel good, and she always said, "No, that's not true," you know. And then I had to reflect and to look at myself deeper, and yeah, that what she does all the time, and it's really cool. And Caroline, my youngest, she's 9, taught me a lot about the funny things in our daily lives. And I also think that her sensitivity brings more awareness and mindfulness in my life. Yeah, that's what they taught me.
Oh, fantastic. Both of them bring something different in you, but the totality is amazing. So actually on the funny aspect, I think definitely I had Victoria name mention that aspect about you. Did you know that about you? Did you know that she feels that funny bit about you?
Oh, no, okay. That's great.
It's amazing.
I like it, yeah.
I liked it as well so much.
Cool.
Yeah, it's so beautiful for a
Uh,
young woman to find Tanam funny. That is
yeah, I like it.
so beautiful. Yeah. So, what fears did you have as a mother, and how did you move through them?
Oh, yeah, my biggest fear was that the generational trauma would bind them to an unhealthy and unhappy life. That was my biggest fear, but I've learned that when I look at my own issues and resolve them, it doesn't necessarily have to be passed on. And this is the great point, I think, the great realization I had in my life.
It's
Yeah.
powerful. It's powerful. And we have to start from where we are. It's when you become
Yeah.
aware, that's where you have to start from and do what you can to heal yourself. And yeah, and then the next generation will be healed, definitely. Yes. Amazing. That's amazing. So what do you hope your daughters never inherit from society?
I hope that they will always think for themselves, don't believe in social norms, they are changeable, and to live from their own opinion. This is what I want for them, yeah.
Okay. So not to live from social norms, think for themselves, and have an opinion. Yeah, they already do. You've done that work. Such a stellar woman. What do you most hope they do inherit from you?
Never give up on your dreams. That's important. Then go your own way and don't let anybody define who you are. I think, and have an open heart and love people deeply, deeply, but love yourself a little bit more. Yes, and most of all, you will survive and pain will pass.
Oh, wow. Love yourself a little bit more.
Mhm.
Wow, I'm enjoying this. Okay, these are for all the stellar women listening. Anyway, never give up. And to go your own way, whatever way that you can define for yourself, and love people deeply, but love yourself a little bit more. And go into what was the last one? Oh, you will survive,
You will survive and the pain will pass.
and the pain will pass. You will survive and the pain will pass. That will keep us going and you'll be unstoppable. Definitely, you'll become a stellar woman and a stellar mother. Fantastic. That's something your daughters have to take away. They've already inherited most of that, at least what I've heard from Victoria. So,
Yes, I think so, yeah.
yeah. So what do you most hope they do? Oh, sorry. That's what we've just finished. How do you define success as a mother?
I think when they come back to you and get in touch with you, not because they have to, but because they want to. This is my goal.
Fantastic. It is really gold when your children are able to come
Mhm.
back to you, not because they have to, but because they want to.
Mhm.
Wow, that is beautiful. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for giving us this time. Thank you so much for being the woman, the stellar mother that has to be nominated by a 21-year-old. Is really fascinating to have such a powerful voice for the work that you have done, the legacy that you have created. It's so empowering, and I'm really, really thrilled and honored that she put her hand up and decided to share this amazing story of the mother that you are, so that we can also send this light to other women in the world.
Thank you, Stella.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So this has been our part of the show where we have been able to tap into Elisabeth Gabauer, who's the mother of Viktoria Höller. So it has been such a pleasure, and thank you all for listening to us. Now we're going to move into a section where we get a chance, an opportunity to reflect from both the mother and the daughter, the stellar mother and the amazing stellar daughter. I have to just say that because they are both amazing. So let's go to that. So, welcome again to the part where we reflect from Victoria and Elizabeth in regards to this Mother's Day special edition. So, we're going to start off with Elizabeth. Just tell us how it felt to be nominated by your own daughter, Victoria.
Oh, I don't have any words for it because I think my feelings about this are too big, and yes, it's an honor, of course, but it makes me very happy to see her honoring my life or my work, and it makes me, I don't know, I feel so loved and honored and very, very happy. And as I said, I don't have words for it. It's such a big feeling. I have the feeling that something is right in my life and with my daughters. And yeah, I think this is the perfect way to describe it. Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing, really. So beautiful, so beautiful to see this love and appreciation and gratitude from generation to generation. Amazing. So now that we have both of you, I want both of you to reflect on something. What is the one belief you both share? We start with Viktoria.
Yeah, well, I think that we need more strong women in this life, as I said before. We can agree upon that.
Yes, absolutely.
You agree? Yeah.
And we believe in the power and strength of women, I think. We both.
Yeah.
Power and strength of, and you need more independent women.
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. And now, what is the one thing you see differently, Victoria?
I think my mom has to start with that.
Okay. I think I see. I think I'm a little bit more optimistic than you about our world and what is possible. What?
Right. And I'm just not sure like the revolution will happen in my lifetime, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have to start working on it now. Yeah, I'm a bit more pessimistic on that.
Very good. Very good. So what is the one word you would use to describe each other? Who's starting? Victoria.
Resilience, probably, for my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay.
Elisabeth?
She's a badass. She's such a cool badass, you know.
Cool badass.
Yeah.
I love that. Generation to generation. So one hope for the future for women.
I think that men need to realize powerful women are not a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Yes, that the world becomes a safer place for women and that equality is taken for granted.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so complete this sentence. My mother taught me
that you don't have to fit into toxic structures.
you don't have to fit into beautiful. And my daughter reminds me.
She reminds me of my own strength and power, and I think she's now at the age of 21, the woman I always wanted to be, and yeah, chapeau.
Amazing. Such a powerful woman that we have here in the world, and blessed to really have her on the Stella Woman Show too. I think could be the youngest we've interviewed. Which is amazing, amazing. So thank you so much, Victoria Höller and Elisabeth Gabauer for coming onto the Stella Woman Show, onto the Stella Woman magazine, and sharing with us passionately your amazing journey of being a daughter and being a mother, and beautifully bringing it out to us and how to actually raise a daughter and how to become an empowered daughter as well. So giving us those two perspectives has been really beautiful. So we're here to move light from one woman to another. So I can't wait to move this light. And I'm sure for all our listeners and those who are going to view on YouTube, who are going to read the magazine itself, the story, I'm sure you're going to find one or two things that is going to move you, because I have been moved. So thank you once again. And from me and the Stella Woman magazine, thank you very much. Do you have one thing you want to leave to to the audience?
You want to start? Or me?
You start.
Yes, thank you for listening. And I think there's a message in it for all women that we should believe in each other and don't let anybody define who we are. And I hope this message finds a lot of women out there.
Amazing. Exactly. Thank you so much. And this being Happy Mother's Day, remember, a happy mother is the best mother. That is Elisabeth Gabauer. Thank you.